The electric vehicle maker said it delivered 1,550 Model 3 sedans in the fourth quarter of 2017, up from 220 the previous quarter. Tesla also adjusted its timeline for its already delayed goal of producing 5,000 vehicles a week from the first quarter of 2018 to the second quarter. The company said in a statement, "During the fourth quarter, we made major progress addressing Model 3 bottlenecks, with our production rate increasing significantly towards the end of the quarter." Previously, CEO Elon Musk signaled that Tesla's launch of the vehicle would be difficult and described it as production hell. Production of Tesla's first mass-market car has attracted much attention, as reports detail supplier issues and assembly line delays while the company works through a reservation list at least 455,000 customers long. The automaker widely missed its third-quarter goal of delivering 1,500 Model 3s and now twice has pushed back its target of producing 5,000 vehicles a week. Tesla shares fell 2.1% in after-hours trading to $310.50 as of 6:07 p.m. Tesla has been blowing through more than $1 billion in cash a quarter as it's had trouble scaling up Model 3 output despite spending heavily on the robots, assembly lines and tooling needed to produce them. The car starts at $35,000 and is pivotal to Musk's bet that mainstream consumers will buy battery-powered vehicles in droves once they become more affordable. The company initially planned to make 5,000 units a week by the end of last year. Tasha Keeney, an analyst at ARK Investment Management, which holds Tesla shares, said in a phone interview, "Tesla has really lofty goals for automation. When you have it right you can ramp really quickly, but getting to that phase is the difficult part." According to Bloomberg, analyst estimates for fourth-quarter deliveries were all over the map, as Tesla remained tight-lipped about its progress, with an average estimate of 2,917 vehicles. Tesla said it produced 2,425 Model 3s in the fourth quarter, but production rates increased toward the end of the quarter, to 1,000 vehicles a week. The automaker expects to hit a rate of 2,500 vehicles a week in the first quarter. The company also reported delivering 15,200 Model S sedans and 13,120 Model X crossovers. Tesla said it delivered 101,312 Model S and Model X vehicles in 2017, a 33% increase from the year before. Tesla entered the final quarter of 2017 with about $3.5 billion cash in hand and projected another $1 billion in capital expenditures during the closing months of the year. In postponing production plans, the company may also be deferring spending, said Jeff Osborne, an analyst at Cowen and Company, who has the equivalent of a sell rating on the shares. Osborne said in a phone interview, "The big question is how much longer are people willing to wait? Every quarter that passes brings on more competition in terms of other vehicles being introduced." Osborne wrote in a report Tuesday that the carmaker may need to raise more capital in the first half of this year. General Motors Company's plug-and-bolt outsold Nissan Motor Company's electric Leaf more than 2-to-1 in the U.S. last year, data reported by the automakers Wednesday showed. The Bolt capped its first full year of sales with its strongest month, delivering more than 3,200 units in December as employee pricing offers to the public got attention for a car that's only been available nationally since August. The Bolt also outsold plug-in hybrid models including Toyota Motor Corporation's Prius Prime and Chevy's own Volt. It was probably surpassed only by Tesla Incorporated, whose Model S was the top-selling electric vehicle globally in 2016. Tesla projected sales of about 100,000 Model S sedans and Model X crossovers worldwide for last year, though the company doesn't break out how many of those deliveries were to US buyers. The Bolt gaining momentum may be a sign that drivers who like plug-in cars increasingly want pure EVs, not hybrids that use a combination of gasoline power and electric drive. The Chevy Volt plug-in hybrid sales shorted out last year, falling 18% from 2016 levels. Still, even with growing interest in the Bolt and Tesla's expanding lineup, pure electric cars make up just 0.6% of the U.S. vehicle market, according to researcher Cox Automotive Incorporated. There were a couple other mitigating factors in GM's victory over Nissan in the plug-in segment. Nissan is in the process of clearing out the old Leaf and making way for a completely redesigned model, which will be available at U.S. dealerships later this month. Judy Wheeler, Nissan's vice president for U.S. sales, said in a phone interview, "We have a lot of orders in the pipeline. If we can deliver on all the orders that we have, it will definitely be a solid first quarter for us. After that will be a better time for getting a perspective on possibilities for the new Leaf." Both the Bolt and the Leaf will be challenged by Tesla's Model 3, which hits a similar price point at $35,000. The automaker run by Musk has been trying to overcome manufacturing problems to ramp up Model 3 production, with details on Tesla's fourth quarter output expected as soon as today. As a flurry of Tesla Model 3 first impressions began to scatter across the internet, one involving a professional driver and devout BMW enthusiast is arguably the more noteworthy of the bunch. Alex McCulloch, a licensed airline pilot, skilled mechanic and performance driving instructor, got behind the wheel of Tesla's Model 3, and he had a lot to say about the company's first mass-market electric sedan. Considering his strong automotive background, McCulloch's observations and impressions about the Model 3 came from a relatively objective standpoint. Neither a staunch critic nor an avid fan, the BMW enthusiast allowed the Model 3 to speak for itself. McCulloch was able to drive the Model 3 for a full day, and during that time, the professional driver was able to acquaint himself with several key features of the electric car. According to the BMW enthusiast, it did not take long before he was able to get comfortable with the minimalistic design of the Model 3's interior. Though McCulloch pointed out that the placement of the vehicle's hazard button was quite challenging to find, one area that he could definitely give a thorough impression on, however, was Model 3's capabilities on the road. According to McCulloch, Model 3 worked flawlessly, doing exactly what he wanted to do, which he found pleasantly surprising. McCulloch noted, "Despite my lack of seat time in the car, it did what I asked with ease. It was communicative, composed, and surprisingly neutral, despite my not being able to figure out how to defeat the stability control." If there was one thing that truly impressed McCulloch, however, it was the Model 3's steering, brakes, and balance. According to the BMW enthusiast, the Model 3 completely met his expectations for performance. Alex McCulloch is an active member of BMW CCA, a prominent group of car enthusiasts with a particular liking for the iconic German brand. The professional driver himself owns a number of BMWs, including an M3 E46, a 320i Touring, a rare M Coupe, a 325iX, and a 325i Sports Wagon. Among his collection, his personal favorite is the M3 E46, which McCulloch feels is simply the best car that was ever made. And yes, that is the very same BMW M3 E46 that he compared the Model 3 to when he wrote about his experience with the electric car. Overall, McCulloch's brief time with the Model 3 ultimately convinced the veteran driver that the electric car is the first of many vehicles that would usher in the future of transportation. The Tesla Model 3 has been getting a lot of positive attention from the electric car community since deliveries of the mass-market compact sedan began. Just recently, a Model 3 with aero wheels set a cannonball run record for EVs, finishing the long journey in just 50 hours, 16 minutes and 32 seconds.